Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Matter Africa, and I am Zuwaira Hamza. Today we have a guest. She is a woman, not just a woman, but she is the initiator of telemedicine, which we will be talking about. She is pharmacist Nkechi Ezeodu. You're welcome. It's nice to have you here with us, ma'am.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is pharmacist Nkechi Ezeodu. I'm a deputy director. I've been with FCT since 1998. I rose through all the ranks and I've worked in almost all the hospitals in FCT. I've worked in almost all the hospitals in FCT, but now I'm in the head office. As we rightly said, I'm the initiator of telemedicine in FCT.
Yes.
I saw how things are going, our medical records, the data's not being well kept, and also I studied the files of some people that have died while in the hospital. I find out that the drugs being given to them is not what it should be.
Okay.
And I checked through our budget list. I found out that medical tourism, the money assigned to them is always high. So I was thinking, how can I help this situation? I've been involved in national primary health care as a monitor. We've gone to almost all the states. We find out that there's far to reach areas in Nigeria. Some places vehicle cannot even get to that place. You have some you join boats, some places you use amalanke. That this thing they call amalanke. Have you heard of it before? It's an animal with a truck to cross it because the place is so sandy.
Okay.
Some you use Okada. You know, they are all form of transport we use when we are trying to get to far to reach areas.
Okay.
In Nigeria. That was what made me to start looking for a way to improve health in FCT, because I am 100% involved in FCT affairs. So it was by then I found out that telemedicine is an option.
Okay.
Because telemedicine involves treating somebody from a distance.
Yes.
The person, you mustn't be close to the person, but we have a remote applications in which we use to detect and diagnose what the patient is actually suffering, and we can now give therapy without a real professional being there to handle the issue. You must have had some cases. They will say some women are pregnant. Before they will carry them to the hospital, they pass on because of the distance and all those things. But with telemedicine, you don't have to do that. From that place, we can equally treat the person and administer care, because the ultimate goal is to save lives.
Yes.
You know, and you find that in most of these issues of life and giving cares, women are at the center of it all. A woman, a mother takes care of a child, whether you are married or not. If anything happens, they still fall back to a woman. So you find that everything is on us. So I actually find out that this telemedicine is a very good source to hold on to. Actually, a lot of things has made it not to be possible in FCT. You know, because we have what we call Melafia project.
Okay.
The Melafia project is electronic, transfer of data, making sure that all the data are being transferred electronically.
Okay.
Which is like a preparation ground for the telemedicine to take place. Because telemedicine can be locally, it can be internationally. If you want to liaise with a hospital outside Nigeria, we have a way of doing it in which we get the doctor that is in charge of that particular program.
Okay.
Then that part, a consultant in that area, then we link the person to him. So instead of the person traveling, and some of them when they go there, they start trying food. You find out that you are the comfort of the person's environment. The person will be properly treated,
Okay.
and all the relations you want to see him or her will still be there for the person. So not only that it reduces cost, it also gives you a feeling of being in the comfort of your home to
Yes.
receive every treatment
It's
that
so
you
convenient.
needed. Very convenient. You will not think of hotel bill. You will not think of trying food, a lot of things. You are at your convenience. So that's the reason that's the reason I know quite well that this telemedicine is going to help us so much.
Okay.
You find that when you go to hospitals at times, they'll tell you they can't see somebody's folder. But if the folder is in the system, if it's electronically keyed, it will be very difficult for such a data to be missing, because you can get it online. Once you key the person's name, the informations pop up. It's not trying to look for the file. Maybe the rat has eaten it up or something like
Which
that.
is the usual stories we keep
They'll tell you his file is missing.
Yes.
But I keep on telling my people that for a file to miss, it's a criminal offense, because some people use people's files to do something and now
Yes.
say it's missing. But with this electronic transfer media, you find out that it will not miss, because it will always be in the system. We always have a backup, and we save our backup in the cloud. So it's difficult for anybody to tamper with it. Anywhere you go, you can easily take it up. The government of FCT has not supported have not supported telemedicine the way it should be, because if it's a standalone thing, you find out that other hospitals will key into it.
Yes.
So the informations, everything they have, we have a hub that we serve for every other state. So instead of, they find that they will make more money, they will generate more income from that. Instead of all this very good thing, you travel outside to go and get treatment. Our doctors are well trained. If you go out to outside Nigeria, you find out that most people that are practicing there, they are Nigerians. We have good doctors. We are well trained. Health providers in Nigeria, we are well trained. But most often, because of management, we have a lot of factors that makes health system not to work. One, priorities are not being well spelled out. You find the health system are being managed only by doctors, which is wrong. If an health system or institution are being managed by health administrators, like other countries, this continuous strike will not be there. This money meant for this being used for another one will not be there, because you cannot be a megad at the same time be a house owner. That is the principle Nigeria has been operating with, which makes health system difficult to stand. Government has been trying. If you check in some areas, government has been trying, they map up some money to meet certain issues. But at the end of the day, this money is not used for that. You understand? So all those things makes health system difficult to grow, And all the same, though we are not practicing according to World Health Standard, we said 1 doctor to 5 beds or thereabout. We are not doing that. So it makes the work hectic in a way. But all the same, if health administrators are running the hospitals or health system, the system will move forward. Because I've seen it in US. If you go to John Hopkins hospitals, it's health administrators that takes care. So you cannot come and tell them your union, Pharmacists Association of Nigeria, is going on strike. It's uncalled for. They will not understand, because what they are thinking is that, what do hospitals stand to benefit? What do hospitals stand to lose? So when those things are not there, are not in the interest of the government, they will not buy it. So those are the issues that are facing our health system.
Okay. Now, looking at it, in a male-dominating system, we're dealing in a male-dominating society currently right now. How is it that did you get the maximum support from your male colleagues when you initiated telemedicine?
Even up till now, they are still fighting because they don't see any reason a woman being somebody that is not in their, there's a clique,
yes,
whatever. You are not with, because very often they ask me who brought me to civil service. I should go and meet that person. Sincerely speaking, nobody brought me. I just came and landed. They were doing interview. I came for the interview. I was taken.
Okay.
I was taken. So that was how I came into the system. So they always see me as somebody that is there to undo them, but I don't mean harm. What I want is a way a system will move forward. Even till today, most of them have not accepted me. Some they say I'm a strange child and this and that because so those things doesn't really bother me because I know I have a good heart towards the system. I want the system to work.
Now, telemedicine as a whole, it's already on ground in Abuja.
Yes.
Now, going to the grassroots, has it gained ground in the grassroots areas? Because if you look at it, these are the people that actually need such system.
That's why I told you about this e-health.
Okay.
The e-health, what they are now doing is that they are putting all their data in the cloud using electronic media. So that's why you see some people, they call them Melafia project in Abuja. What they are now doing is to get all those elementary, those rural areas, get all their information. But the telemedicine has to do with them keying into us because we are the bigger brother. So when they key into us, we give them our information. If they still want it outside Nigeria, we get the country or the consultant outside Nigeria that we handle that issue for them instead of traveling. There's a remote control, equipment we use to get that message sent to them. Telemedicine is not the only thing I do in FCT. I also go to hospitals. I talk to women, especially pregnant women. I talk to them on the diets, what they need to do when they are pregnant, how they will go about it. I also go to school children, especially during their sickle cell day. I move around, I talk to them because I believe secondary school children are better to be well informed on the dangers of a sickle cell than adults. But those of them that their children are already into it and they've started having children with SS, then I told them about a process called hematopoietic stem cell transplantation, which is a simple process in which normally it has to do with gene. It will help to correct that X chromosomes into normal. Most often where it's even gotten is from what doesn't have any value. We get the cells, the fast growing cells. We call it stem cell because they are fast growing. We get them from a woman that is pregnant that have just given birth. From that afterbirth, that's where we get the samples. We undergo some process. We match it with the patients and we give it just like a drip. It undergoes a lot of process before you give it like a drip. The process has helped a lot of people with Hodgkin disease, Alzheimer, cancer, all this blood-related deadly disease. The process has helped so much, And one thing with our women, most of them in the village, they are not eager to find out
help,
the
solutions.
Yes, And when you talk to them, they will tell you one thing must kill somebody. But it's not always that. Yes, somebody can, we know we will all die, but the quality of life we live is what matters, you know. If you want to know that is diabetic, you are told not to eat certain things, they will key to it. I have even manual. This is my compendium of the work I've done since I started FCT. You will see I have a diet for diabetes, which I give to pregnant for diabetic patients. Inside this book,
They're all compiled inside.
Yes, I'm the one that compiled this. It's my work.
Wow.
You know, I have for hypertension inside here. I have for sickle cell anemia, the food that they eat to boost their blood cells, red blood cells. I have all of them inside this book, you know, and I always make sure I take it wherever I'm going to. So if I see anybody on that area, I will photocopy it and give the person so that they will know what to do. Because diabetes are managed, hypertension are managed.
Yes.
And our local food within us, a lot of them are doing good in that area, you know. So also the sicklers, I've spoken to most of them. I've given them the recipes of what they will use to make sure they have enough blood and to keep themselves warm, to avoid frequent attack, and to make sure they go for test before marriage. Let them not be carried by whatever called love, because they may start that love today, tomorrow it will not go on again with them. So those are the areas I feel, because I know I'm here to serve.
Yes.
So I always make sure that I do my work the way it will benefit the whole society.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we return, she'll be telling us lots more. Please go nowhere. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is Matter Africa on Television Nigeria. Today we're talking about telemedicine, and we are with the initiator of telemedicine. She is pharmacist Nkechi. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Before we went on the break, I wanted to find out what are the challenges, because no matter what, anything that has been initiated, there must be challenges. So can you tell us a little bit of your challenges and how you have been able to overcome them? Because you being a woman is actually very, very difficult. Standing up to say you want to find a solution to such problem in this country. Now, do we have this included in the budget?
FCT tried. They put in 2011-12. This was in the year 2011-12. It was included in the budget. But you know, this environment and whatever, it happened. So we never had anything to work with up till now to really have a reasonable center for us to receive patients, treat them, and send them has been difficult. You know, so those are the challenges we are facing. You know, because during that Senator Bala Mohammed's time, a former minister, they put a lump sum of money, but at the end of the day, they said we can't access it with the environment and all the rest of it. And since then, I've been in a lot of people's bad book. They say, why should you come out? Why should you do this? Why should you do that? And all the rest of them. But God has been faithful. If at least the awareness is there.
Yes.
If I'm not the one that eventually do it, somebody will come and do it one day, because they've known the importance of it. And now in our health planning research and statistics, they believe they are doing telemedicine, but I've not really seen what I was taught by Indians in that place, because it was Indian government that eventually trained me in telemedicine, and American body recognized me when I put up my write-up. They included me in the American Tele-medicine Association. I've been going for their conferences except last year and this year. But I'm planning to go for next year on again. I wouldn't go, I was not able to go because of fund. But I'm saving towards next year, or they will do it April, May every year. So,
Now, when you decided to invent telemedicine in this country, did other women actually stood up to support you? Because I find it, you hear women telling you that it's very hard for women to support their women. How was it in your case?
we actually, Barrister Amanda Pam helped me, you understand, and Mrs. Precious Bueno, they were all in support. But you know, in a system, that's what they call, there are people that have stronger arm than them. Like Bueno was a politician, commissioner, Health and Human Service Secretariat. He helped even Amina Zakari. That's why I still relate with her till today. When she was our secretary here, all of them, they saw good things in it. They are not permanent people. By the time they raise fire, do this, they delay, they do everything. Because they are not part of us, they don't know what to do. They will stay there and their tenure will finish, they will go out and nothing will be done. So the women actually helped, but it's forces beyond them that stopped it.
Okay, in cases of emergency, how do patients, after getting in contact with you, how do they actually reach the doctor? In the case of maybe using the telemedicine system.
I will give you a scenario in Lagos University Teaching Hospital.
Okay.
Dr. Sahat Sanjo Suratu is the telemedicine consultant in Lagos University Teaching Hospital. He told me that when he came initially, people walk in on their own to the telemedicine center. He handled their cases. A lot of positive results were coming up. But the CND of Lagos University Hospital was not happy about it. So he brought out a policy that before anybody goes to telemedicine center, he must have used all the available means of treatment in the hospital. So by the time the person is coming to him, he's already a vegetable, which he cannot do much on. So he was thinking of terminating his contract with them that period. So that was why I suggested to Hospital Management Board of FCT that if they want telemedicine to really be a medical tourist center for people not to stop going out, that it will be a standalone thing, so that they don't have to go all the rudiment that is in the hospital before they come there. They will have option of either coming to telemedicine center or going to hospital. You know, so that was what I suggested with them, and they were not comfortable with it. So I think that was why they don't want me to continue with it or whatever. So
You're still pushing it.
I'm still, to the best of my knowledge.
Now, being a mother, being a wife, and you occupy a very big position, how have you been able to manage it?
I think you will delete this one because I'm not a wife, you know.
Okay, but you're a mother.
Those ones, I don't think it's necessary for this interview.
Okay.
But what I know is that I've been handling my affairs very well.
Okay.
Most often I go to church because I believe my strength comes from God.
Yes.
I go to church. I'm into charity also because there's an NGO that they are into caring of children and women empowerment. I always give them whatever I have as a support, because I know the amount of wealth you accumulated in this world does not really give you joy, but it's the lives you touch that always give you that joy. And when you are going home, final home, after this world, is those things that will keep you going.
Yes.
You know, it's not the wealth you accumulated. So I have a tech schedule every day, and So I have children, adopted children. I have some elderly people I attend to too. You know, so I combine God has been faithful because it's not easy. I find that some days I will leave in the morning, I will not come back until late in the night. So I thank God for being faithful and for being there for me.
And you don't even look the stress.
Honestly. That's why I'm telling you this, because do you know, if I see my schoolmates, I keep on wondering whether are they still the same people?
Yes.
You know, because the difference is there. So I know it's God that has been doing that, not me.
Okay, ma. Now, as a woman, nobody wants to experience what they call rape, being raped, or you know. Now, though I believe some people believe in giving them a second chance. That now the federal government has placed a law that any rapist that has been caught is sentenced to death. What's your opinion on death sentence for rapists? Do you think it's fair enough, or they should be given a second chance?
This actually nobody wants to be raped.
Yes.
And nobody will say that is a saint. All of us have sinned in different ways. And killing somebody that maybe the person was under an influence of drug and he raped somebody. So to sentence such person to death, he didn't give that person second room for a turnaround to change or to be a better person. Another thing is that most things women wear these days are terrible. I was on Otako market in the morning. I saw a woman that you'll be seeing the pants from the dress. It's open. From down like this, it's open. You know, and the clothes he was wearing is big clothes, but he opened his down. So if such person say he was raped, she was raped, will you kill whoever that raped her? So there's decency in everything. You know, I don't believe in capital punishment for rape, in as much as it's bad. You know, it can be looked into. They will look for another way of handling it, because there's a lot of things that is happening in Nigeria without that is more than that rape without punishment.
Yes.
So if you steal government money in India, they will kill the person. But in Nigeria, we look at it as arriving. So there's a lot of things, you know. It shouldn't be capital. It shouldn't be capital. But our girls should be. We should try to groom our children in such a way that they will have this. They will be disciplined. They will not be wearing anything that comes around. Because if a woman is well, if you keep yourself well, I don't think anybody will come and start raping you like that. You know, my aunt told me in their school in Anambra State that thieves went into their rooms, came to their school. When they were running the purse, they found out there was condom inside their purse. Actually, maybe they were coming to rape few girls there. But unfortunately for them, they entered the man's house first. So the man now blew whistle.
Okay.
That's made other people to come. So I told my sister that is the principal there that what I want her to do is that put iron doors. If it's flush doors, it's easier for them to force it open. And unfortunately, the school has no fence. They should put fence, put gate. Then you know you've done all you can do. Put that wire mesh. You've done all you can do as a human being. So if the person comes in as a thief or whatever, so that one will be another thing entirely. But it's not when you leave everything open and now you want people to be killed for our what we can still prevent. You know?
Yes. Okay, what about in the case of children? You hear people...
that one, they can go to any length, because I don't know what a man will see in inviting in a small child that doesn't know anything. Do you know, when I was in Maiduguri doing my masters, do you know this thing is so much there? VVF.
Yes.
You know, you will see them passing urine uncontrollable, whatever, because of all this kind of action. So if they do it on a child, if they say they can pass this sentence on that one, I don't care, because they've already destroyed that child's life.
Yes.
But if it's for an adult that keep herself anyhow, that one they should consider. There will be, I think, they are all human beings now. Capital punishment doesn't solve any problem.
Okay. Now, we have some ministerial positions were appointed recently. Do you think our society is being fair to women when it comes to women in politics?
They are not being fair enough, because they say they will give us 40%.
Yes.
I don't know whether we have up to that 40%, but I've heard from a voice of a woman that was in politics. She said for them to give them post, they must want to sleep with them. So if our constitution, we do it in such a way that women should stop using their body to get position, that any woman that sleeps with a man for a position will be disqualified automatically. That's when women in politics will start coming up. But if they do it if they continue living it like that until you sleep with a man, you can't get something. Women will not be able, they will not see decent women in the politics. You will still continue being garbage in, garbage out. Because if you as a mother, if you as a woman, you cannot keep your integrity. You are not disciplined enough to know that you can't use your body to buy something. What are you going there for? So we need women that have morals. And how can it be done? Is when there's a rule or somehow that if ever had you slept with a man to get that position, you will be disqualified. So you see, they start saying decent women in politics.
Okay, now lastly, what's your advice to women who want to be like you, who see you as a role model, but they don't know the step to take? Some people just see, she's a director. They just feel that it's impossible for them to be something in life. What's your advice?
It's determination.
Okay.
You have to be determined. One, the most important thing, you hold on to God. When you hold on to God, you become determined. So it's not easy, because I know that as I'm talking with you, most of things are supposed to benefit, they are withholding it. But you know where you are going to. You will not allow those small things they are withholding to stop you from going to where you are going to. So what you do, you have a scale of preference.
Yes.
You will check, is it your yesterday? You can't go back to yesterday. Yesterday they've eaten the money of yesterday. Believe that what is ahead is higher. You forget that yesterday, continue pursuing your tomorrow. And make sure you continue upgrading yourself. If you are in secondary school, look for university. If you are in primary, look for secondary. If you are in secondary, look for primary. If you look for university. If you are in for university, look for masters. If you are in masters, look for PhD. If you are in PhD, start looking for something to read, or the other. You find out by so doing, you are understanding there's nothing in this life. Because when you get, before you will think, when you are in secondary school, sky is your limit. When you get there, you find out there's nothing. You get to university, you find out there is nothing. You find out that this world, there's nothing in this world except the life you have touched.
Yes.
You understand? So what I'm advising women to do, let them know that their happiness depends on them. And you cannot give what you don't have. So try to make yourself happy. Even if you're a married woman, your husband they are in your front and is chasing women. Leave him there. There's something those women don't have that you have. That's why he kept you in the house.
Yes.
If those women have what you have, he wouldn't have kept you in the house. But at the same time, ask yourself simple question. Am I doing what all I'm supposed to do? Do I keep myself neat? Do I make my house comfortable? Am I really a mother to my children? Am I really a wife to him? If you have done all you're supposed to do, you leave him, then face God. Make sure you are happy. Don't be a nagging woman, because you've never achieved anything by anger. Just allow God to take perfect control of everything. So that's my advice.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank you
most
so
welcome.
much. We appreciate,
I appreciate
having you here.
Thank you. God bless you. Very good.
We've heard it all from her. Determination takes you to places you don't imagine. And that's the much we have on today's episode on Matter Africa. I'm Zoera Hamza. Bye for now.